you can edit the Google Doc directly if you want to. Right, here we are, we're live. It's the marketing show. Woohoo! Right. Let's have a look. I guess I should share my screen. I guess, Marufa, you may not be able to see the screen, but let's see. So, I guess I've got a few things which is like updates to sites, podcasts, or the other things that were on my old survey. Okay, that's some things from me. Marufa, did you have particular items for the agenda?
Focus group and newsletter.
Focus group, newsletter. Blandine, did you have some items for us? I can't hear anything from Blandine. Did Federico join us?
Yes.
I think he did. Yes, it looks like Federico joined us and we lost Blandine. Federico, yeah, any items for, I assume, the newsletter. Anything else?
I was just going to ask about the Facebook, the Sambot Facebook DM. That's about it.
Right. And Blandine is maybe back. Blandine, can you hear us okay?
Yes.
Great. Do you have any items for the agenda?
Today, no.
Not a problem.
No, because I know what I have to do.
Great. Okay. Yes. What's the thing that you're working on at the moment?
I'm working on the publication of the social media and my blog posts.
Great. Well, that's fine. All right. Yes. So, and Lara's not here, but she pointed us to something about the content experiment. So I'll put that in there for her. And I guess I will just go grab the previous action items and copy them over, and just we'll do a little review of those. So I have yet to empower others to make changes to Welcome Bots, but I do want to do that, and I have put it on my to-do list. Lara, I believe, is working on changing the Facebook image. I don't think that's yet happened. Federico and somebody, explore uploading user data to HubSpot. I guess that's on the to-do, is it, Federico?
Yeah, that's correct. I'm a little behind on AV stuff, but right after I get the newsletter done.
Sure, and feel free to hand that off to someone else if, you know, for example, you want to focus on the podcast or whatever, you know, as one's list, you know, of to-dos gets longer, that's partly a sign that we should maybe try and get other people involved in them. So Lara has, I think this experiment is now running, so we'll look at that in the main meeting. Matt's not here today. We've got this analytics compare click-through on the Get It Started with Premium button. I have done some of that. And so I'll put analytics on button. We can look at that briefly. I did do a draft blog post on it. So yeah, I've done the survey for the. I haven't distributed it yet, but hopefully we can come to agreement. I've got a survey. We'll talk about that. I have made some changes to the Meet Premium members page. We can look at that together. Matt's not here for the meetup. Marufa, you were going to print screen some of the blocks that you're on with the Agile Ventures email?
I haven't got around to doing that, sorry.
No problem. We'll look forward to that. And yeah, I did a blog for the Year of Blogging, which is being fast-tracked and released. So that's all. You've got everything you need there, Federico.
Yeah, thanks, Sam.
Great. So there were some other action items that just generally came up that we haven't assigned to people particularly. We'd love to get more data on why people become inactive and after how long. I guess these are sort of general questions in the air. We were talking about getting these listed. This is kind of me getting this opportunities page up. I prioritized. I've got the Chatlio stuff actually in the site, so we might talk about that as well. I kind of end up focusing on that instead. Greet people joining new projects. That's kind of all Thanks so much, Federica. You sent me the template. I saw Matt greeting some people yesterday. This is great. Yeah, you can see where we can audit it. Blandine, yeah, we got your link for the posting plan. Posting plan looks good. Is that, yeah, and that's now, yeah, there's kind of, I guess it has to be connected up with Hootsuite and buttons pressed and things, yeah?
Yeah, okay. Only LinkedIn is connect to Hootsuite.
Okay, only LinkedIn is connected at the moment.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, go on.
I use the Facebook page because it's not connected on Hootsuite.
Sure. Yeah, I think Laura sent a message about she's working on trying to connect it to Facebook. So
yes, I spoke with her yesterday.
Okay, great. That sounds fine. You got feedback on the social media plan, so that's all good. Okay. So yeah, I know podcast stuff is later. I've got some notes on this. I'll mention that in the meeting above. Yeah, I have updated the dollars and the plans, and this is the survey for all members. But I think I'm going to try and finish getting the survey for premiums done, and then we have this this is Michael's outstanding brainstorming. I guess what he's particularly looking for are things that we could measure in the our kind of environment. The stuff we were talking about, different things that people do that we could then be using to estimate people's engagement and so on. But since I think Michael's not here, we will get on. I've got a lot of items there. Maybe we can get through. Well, Blandine, that's great to know what you're doing, but it sounds like, yeah, we know what you're doing and you've got to do that. That's great. Federica, you were asking about the Facebook bot. Was it specifically adding a link to the sort of special offer of like our Facebook page and get a free trial or something?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just curious if that's occurred yet.
It has not occurred. I have been reflecting on what a fantastic idea it is and how I would like to make it happen. And so that's part of my double-pronged approach now of my plan is to get the bot onto Azure using Doku, and that means that there'll be a Git repo and we can empower people to just push changes to it. So then, for example, you could craft, you could adjust put in a pull request for, this is what the bot should say, and then, it could just be done. At the moment, it requires manual deploy to a EC2 thing that only I have permission for. So that's my kind of, this needs to happen. I mean, I guess the short circuit would be just for me to edit the thing on the existing thing,
right,
if we want it to happen faster. So that's another way to go, actually, because this might take a bit of poking around. Yeah, what was the? I mean, if you want to provide, is it like the Facebook page and get a free premium mob session? Was that the?
I'll find it for you. We already had it in maybe 3 meetings ago.
Yeah.
And I'll just repost it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was also looking at the Facebook. I've just made these changes to the getting started page, and I was thinking it's time to kind of at the moment all of the greeting bot thing, it points people to GitHub, and I'm thinking as we're improving our own site, it's time to move back to pointing to our site. So I think I guess I'll put in here. This is now, don't do that. Just update existing bot message. Okay, cool. I'm going upwards here. Marufa, on the newsletter.
I know Federico is working on this month's newsletter. I was thinking we can start having thinking up things for the next month, so I can get on with it. So any particular topics or articles, we should start listing them now.
Yeah, we could. With the Chatlio thing is a new thing that we could mention. Also, Jitsi as well. There are two changes in the community. So the fact that we're switching from Hangouts to Jitsi. Go on, Federico.
I was hoping to mention maybe perhaps 2 or 3 more podcast episodes out, and the fact that we're on what's it called, Stitcher. That we've been released on Stitcher, to tell everyone to give us a rating.
Okay.
Yeah, so it can help promote it, and so it can get heard.
Awesome.
But yeah, I guess you said you have some news about the podcast. So
cool. More Blandine blogs. Here we go. So there's a few things for the newsletter.
Can I just start allocating tasks? So should I do the first 2? And Federico, can you do the podcast episode article? Not now, whenever. And I'll add. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
And yeah, just to update a little bit on the current newsletter. Hopefully, I'll get it out today. Like I said, I'm a little behind on stuff, baby stuff. And I got a good portion of it done. Just a couple more and editing, and then send it over to Sam for final editing.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, your efforts very, very much appreciated. Okay, so should we move on then to focus group? So yeah, Marutha, you wanted to do a focus group with premium members or with free members?
If you're okay, the target group, it depends. If you're doing the survey on premium members, would you like it to be mixed research and have a focus group on premium members as well, or would you like a different target group? So I'm thinking I could change the way in questions are being asked if you want more depth from premium members, or I could do a general Q&A for new members. So it's really, what do you think would be more valuable?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, my plan was to get questionnaires out to both premium members and new members. I'm doing the premium members first. I guess
I was thinking.
Go on.
Oh, sorry. Then I'm thinking that maybe I should do my focus group on the premium members at the same time, and also I think it'd be easier to get premium members to do the focus group because they're comfortable with the environment. Maybe I should try and reach out to members, and it might take longer to gather them to do a meeting. That's another thing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the question is, what's the question that we like? I mean, I guess for doing the survey, the high level questions are, really, how can we change the premium offerings to improve sign up? It's that's the question that I want to answer with the business goal of kind of increasing those premium things. I guess the question about the focus group is, what I worry about with the premium members is asking them, to do both a survey and then a focus group. I mean, people can say yes or no, of course. I guess have you been thinking about the pros and cons of using a focus group?
I saw the article of the pros and cons that you just slacked. Just bear with me 1 second. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I was trying to get it out, but it didn't work.
That's right.
But I was thinking that I think we should do it, but I think I should have a Q&A out, and even if it might not amount to much, I think it'd be quite a good insight to get people's voices heard, because there's only been so much they can say through a bit more closed off with a questionnaire.
Right.
So
yes.
Maybe that's why I think it'd be a good idea. I don't know, particularly maybe I could just the same question, but they might be able to explain themselves better through a focus group. So I'm thinking maybe I should look at your questions and from your survey and see how I can make it more open-ended questions through that. And I think the other thing is, if I just have 6 members, that would be a good start, 5 or 6. And I think I would tell them to do 2 focus groups. So with 2 meetings. So the first one, it'd be like an hour long. We'll have our meeting. Then I can go back, read it, see if the questions have been answered. And the second meeting, say these ones haven't been addressed properly, or can we go back and answer these questions, so that way we get as much data.
Yes, no, that seems certainly the potential advantage of a focus group over a survey is that in the focus group, when somebody makes a statement, you can ask them why. You can kind of probe for more information that might be revealing. I guess then the question is, like, in terms of scheduling, like the focus group, of course, also means getting, you know, how many people together online at the same time. I wonder, is there, would you get the benefits of a focus group, and would it be easier to organize if it was like a one-on-one interview?
It'd be just longer.
Right, to speak to 6 people, sure.
Yes, and it's particularly for timing. If I can reach out and say who would want to do it,
right,
6 people. Even if it's like project managers or something,
sure,
spending an hour of the time or half an hour of the time, and then I can try and figure out a date time for them to come together. But first, to communicate with them by saying, just letting them know I'm thinking of doing a focus group, and then I can organize a time. But it'd be good to try and get a list of people's names that might, maybe 20, and then I can condense it down. I don't know.
Sure. But, no, that's certainly a good way to start. I think my fears are that in a focus group, the danger is that, you know, there are people who are sort of loud, essentially, or dominating, and that they kind of speak a lot, and other people who are, you know, more shy would not say how they feel, and that's the kind of thing that is more likely to come out in a survey, but also in a one-on-one interview. The other thing to consider is that our premium members are spread all over the world, so we find it extraordinarily difficult to find times when they can all meet together, and the sort of like little overlap times when they can all meet together is kind of heavily populated with the special events that we have for premium members. So I know it would certainly be more work for you to interview 3 people than to run a single focus group with 3 people.
In that case, I'd rather do, I was thinking a focus group of 6, but I don't mind doing one-on-one with 3. That won't be a heavy load, but doing 6 might be too much. I'd rather do one-on-one. And also, from looking at the community channels, there's some people I can feel that their voices they're
very strong.
Yeah, so I wouldn't necessarily ask them for a focus group, because I feel they are saying what they want to say already. In other yes,
so, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, that sounds very simple. Well, I think, you know, I leave it in your hands. I think if you can get a focus group together with 3 people at the right time, I mean, I think if you know, what you can do is go into one of the channels and say, is anybody interested in a focus group, and see if people say yes, and maybe only one person responds, and you say, oh, well, let's do an interview, and then you see. But I think there are people who, like when we did the expert interviews for our design sprint the other week, there were certainly people who wanted to make time to come and do those and tell us what we thought about, what they thought about Agile Ventures. Actually, were you able to watch the expert interviews for the design sprint?
No, but
no, that's all right. I wasn't expecting you to have done so. I mean, we generated like 30 hours of video. You know, you've got a life. I'm not expecting you to watch all of this. I'm just thinking that before,
it'd be good.
Right, that would be a kind of a good background, not to watch the whole design sprint, but just that particular bit of
Sam,
the.
What day was that? Which day?
That was like Monday. I mean, what I'll do is I'll put an action item for me to get you those videos with those interviews.
Okay, because then I was thinking, if I can see then I can see, I can Slack members directly rather than giving it as a loud
Yeah, you could use your own judgment about how you want to work with that.
Yes.
The videos from the interviews. Yeah, and then absolutely do have a look at my questions in the surveys and think about that. I mean, I guess there's, for the I mean, this is the general question. I mean, I don't know if that's kind of the wrong. What I would like the original survey it's like, what is most valuable to our members.
Sam, I also think that is not trying to be rude, but I think a focus group would be really good, even if it doesn't seem like it's amounted to anything, because it's our first go. So we just know how to improve if we want to do it again.
Absolutely. Oh, and saying that's not being rude at all. And I'm aware that it's easy for me to if I come across as negative about something, that it feels like people don't want to. But I'm really excited that you're excited about doing it. I just want to make sure that you're thinking about how to make it a success. I think absolutely try it. Focus group, and then we'll see what we get out. I definitely believe that there's huge value to be had from learning more about our customers and our members and so on. Yeah, absolutely.
And I think it would be okay to find members if I'm doing one-on-one. I would look at those that you would recommend, and I will see which members are might want to do it, and I will reach out to them. Otherwise, I will look at the community channel and see if someone just giving one sentence, like a small idea, but then they don't speak. Those are the people that I'd be looking for.
Yeah, sounds wonderful.
So
I'll
see what goes.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds great. And hopefully I'll get this premium survey out, and there'll be people. I've got a thing for people to add their email address if they want follow-up, so you can see the results of that, and you can maybe follow up with the people from that as well. That'll be another resource for you. So great.
Okay.
Great. That's excellent. I really appreciate you taking the initiative on all this. And so I guess the focus on the premium, I think there is also, the new members as well, but I guess one thing at a time. Okay.
Yeah.
So moving on, chat, Leo.
Sorry, Sam.
No, go on.
Your screen, do you mind just sharing it? I can't see it.
It is being shared at the moment.
Okay.
Whether it's on your phone, I mean, we have had some issues with Jitsi, but all the stuff the notes that I've been typing are all in this Google document, which is in the Slack channel.
I'm gonna leave and come back.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay. Federico and Blandine. Any thoughts on that most recent discussion? All good from your point of view?
Blandine?
No.
Yeah, maybe difficult to follow. I know I speak very fast. My apologies.
So I'm just curious what your trepidation is, Sam. Is it just that you're doing the survey at the same time, or?
I think partly I'm reacting to in the design sprint book. They're very negative about focus groups.
Oh, okay.
As a kind of this danger of the dominant person,
right?
Says something and everybody just starts agreeing with them, and so I'm kind of, I kind of maybe I'm too paranoid about that. I'm very, very happy for Marufa to do a focus group. I just want to make sure that she's taking that into account in terms of setting it up. And so, but it sounds to me from what Marufa was saying there that she's thinking about all the angles, and I'm full of confidence that it's a good thing to do. So, go on, Federico.
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, I think we'd gain a lot from it, even if it is, someone, even taking it into account the cons. I think we could still gain from it.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's, cool. So, going on to the chat, Leo. thing, we now have that here in the website. It appears to be working. I haven't tried it on. I mean, like we've been using it in the non-profit site, so there it is. We will see if people start talking to us. I mean, I think that there's this whole thing of we need to be in dialogue with our users and our members. So for Marufa, I don't know if you can see it necessarily, Marufa and Blandine, but so what this means is that anybody coming to our agileventures.org or nonprofits.org site, they'll have this "How can we help you" button at the bottom with the chat symbol, and if they click on it, they can start typing, and that actually connects up to Slack. And so if somebody starts talking to us, we get that in this, where's it gone? I've lost it. Chatlio live chat, and then you can have individual discussions with the people through Slack. So and if no one's online, then it asks them for their email address. So hopefully that might lead to some interesting conversations. So that's Chatlio. Lara, has set up this content experiment, which is running, and I can show you. Where is it? Here. Okay. Yeah. So let's just reload that page. So this is trialing the alternate kind of landing page that we created in the design sprint. And this is running away. And the thing that disturbs me slightly in here is I can't see the setting that shows me, the link that these two things are going to. Like, as I understand it from here, so this experiment, this is like 50% of the ads are going to our new landing page, and 50% of our ads are going to the original landing page. And we can see that the experiments, started July 5th, and it's going to run till the end of the month. And we can see that already, this is the number of times that the ad's been served, the number of click-throughs, and that's just kind of rough stuff there. And then the key thing really is kind of the conversions. So, we can see here that, I mean, I think that implies that in the last day and a half that it's been running, 4 people who came through the original have signed up, but that none of the people who came through the new experimental page have signed up. So that, I mean, it's a day and a half, so obviously we wait and see, but that doesn't look very promising for the experiment. But as I say, what I would love to be doing here is clicking through and seeing precisely the URL that this is going to. But I can't see it, which is slightly frustrating. But does that all make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
And I guess, see, what I worry is, for example, if there's a letter wrong in this URL, then it would just serve to a dead page. And that's another reason why we get 0 conversions. Assuming it is going to the right page, I mean, there are other things like the fact that the InVision thing loads, and there's, it's not as polished as it could be. And that may be putting people off. But yeah, I guess I have to ask Lara where in the interface I can see what the actual experiment, where that is, where it tells us what the 2 landing pages are. So anyway, I'll put that down as an action item for me.
Sam, how long are we gonna run the experiment?
The experiment is probably set to run to the end of the month.
Really?
But I think, well, I mean, then that's what's there. I think we can turn it off at any time. I mean, if we find after a week that basically nobody going to the new page is signing up, then that seems like back to the drawing board kind of thing. So that's that. So that's content experiment. We've been talking about the survey already. I think we've covered that. I had some feedback on the survey. It feels like is the new premium survey that I've created then specifically for premiums. We've never had a survey specifically of premium members before. That's this survey here. So I've created this new survey, and I would intend to start sending this out to premium members, unless anybody can see any kind of major problems with that.
So can I just ask how you're gonna send it to people?
Well, what I was planning to do was I was planning to start slacking it to people individually. I mean, I was also going to put it into the professional develop channel on Slack. And I kind of, over the course of a month, I go around and I reach out individually to every premium member anyway. So I thought I would kind of send it out. I mean, there is a danger that if it's me doing it, that they kind of think, oh, you know, Sam's asking, so I've got to be nice and, you know, won't say negative things. But I mean, the survey is anonymous. They're not required to add their email address unless they want to. So,
right. I mean, I wonder if they know that, but I think if you direct message them, they're going to be more likely to actually fill it out. If you just post it, I think the response rate will be low.
Yeah, I think that's often the case. Go on.
But then there's the danger, like you said, that they might not give true, you know, if there's any criticism or, you know, truthful answers. Yeah. If you do it, I think you might be right about that.
Well, I think what I'll do is I'll try and assure people that it is anonymous. And then we've also got, I mean, that's the big advantage of Marufa contacting people, is that, you know, in interviews or follow-up things or what have you, they're, I think, you know, I suspect that people will generally feel more open to say if there are concerns and things they don't like about, you know, the way it's going or things that they want to change that they feel difficult to say to me. I imagine they'll find it easier to say it to Marufa. So I guess we're covered. I mean, we could have a plan where we, you know, somebody else sends this out individually to people, but it feels like it's probably not worth worrying about it when we've got the, you know, what Marufa's doing as backup.
I mean, would you be open to that? Like, if, I don't know, if we asked like Marufa or Matt or
to go, yeah, and DM them individually. That's I mean, that's another way to go.
Or I could do it too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess actually that would be an interesting way to go. Actually, is Marufa, is that, you know, given this is, if I gave you a list of all of the Slack addresses for people, you could like Slack them, then say, oh, we're doing a survey, and let me know if you'd like be interested in doing an interview or a focus group, and then that. How does that sound?
That might be even better, actually.
Yeah.
That way, I can coordinate more, and they will also, it'd be a good thing for them to know that there is a marketing department.
Yeah.
That it's not just a bunch of people getting together and everything's everywhere. They will feel a bit more organized, that we're taking feedback and taking it seriously.
Yes, absolutely. And yes, it would give you a chance to introduce yourself to all the people. That would be great. Some people are not available on Slack, and you would need to email. So, but yeah, let's do that. That's yeah.
I won't do anything until the weekend, though.
No, sure. Well, I think there's no. It's not like there's a massive rush, but and what I would need to do first is get you get Marufa list of all premiums, Slacks and emails were necessary. Yeah, and then you can Marufa distribute survey and ask about interview / focus group. Okay, that's cool. That sounds like a plan. So going on from the survey onto podcast. Yeah, I just it sounds like you're saying you made more progress on the podcast, Federico. Is that right?
No. The opposite.
You didn't.
I was hoping to work on it today.
Uh-huh.
But like I said, I'm gonna be working on the sending out the newsletter.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I was just like when we were talking about volunteer. I mean, I think getting a volunteer. You know, we were talking about like advertising on like physical message boards in universities is like, yeah, I mean, that could work. I mean, it's also like a big gamble. You could get somebody and you tell them about how to do it and spend a lot of time in investing, explaining how it works, and then they just, you know, they're not available again. I mean, the people I've mentioned before, Podcast Motor, basically there's kind of like a $249 a month. This is, I think Ruby Rogues was using this at one point. I don't know how good they would be, but like this is kind of like more along the lines of being affordable to us compared to, you know, what Mandy charges for, you know, Greater Than Code or what have you. And they're basically, you know, they'll do 2 episodes a month, complete audio editing, and just get it done. So I think this is kind of our backup option. I mean, it's not a trivial amount of money to spend, but what worries me is about how we, you know, put in the effort to record these 10 episodes, and we're, you know, and we've gone on Ruby Rogue saying these things are coming out, and we're kind of not reaping the benefit from all of that. So I think we need some plan in place. But yeah, I mean, based on like, would you say, Tarika, you've done half of the second podcast? Like, and like it took like 3 hours to do half of the second podcast. Is that right?
I'd say it's, you know, about 40% done.
It's about 40% done. And how many hours did it take you to do that 40%?
About 2 or 3.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like, yeah, that sounds, you know, like a big load on you, and kind of, and is your sense that it would then be basically about 5 or 6 hours work every time we wanted to publish one?
Yeah, approximately, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that's a.
I mean, now that I have it done, it took a lot longer, the first one, because I just had to sort everything out, and you know, it took a lot longer.
No, sure, absolutely, and the sound levels were kind of all crazy in the first one, and then I had been assuming that like it would be the kind of thing that by the second one we could get down to like it's half an hour. It's like chucking the beginning music and the end music, and the basically it can be kind of used as is. That had been my perhaps overly optimistic hope, was that, you know, it was
hoping that too, yeah.
Right. So in your sense now, do you think that like for episode 3 and 4, it could come down to that half an hour, or it's basically just going to be 5 or 6 hours every time?
You know, I'll have to listen to the other ones. I mean, I'm hoping to get it down to just maybe 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah. I mean, that's still a big chunk of your time that I mean, and is that 2 or 3 hours because you're going through and listening to the whole thing, and you're like adjusting the balance up and down all the way through?
Yeah, I mean, there's more to it, but that's sort of the simple way to think of it, sure.
Okay. Right. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Well, let's get this newsletter out, and I guess allow you to finish the episode 2, assuming that we can get episode 2 done by the end of next week. But I think, you know, I think what we need to avoid the situation where it's kind of like this big sink on your time, and then it gets put off. We want to get into kind of a flow where they're being released regularly. So, yeah, like, I mean, part of me wanting you to write, like, actually document what you're doing is so that we can kind of review it and potentially eliminate things that maybe aren't completely necessary. But okay, I guess we'll review at the end of next week and look to, you know, finding some way forward that can get it out regularly.
Yeah. Just can you show me how much is the complete solution? How much do they charge there? If you scroll down.
Yeah, here. I mean, they've got this. It's $649 a month.
Even
I mean,
that's
so basically, it's still cheaper than Mandy. And my sense was that these guys don't do as good a job as she does. You know, and I think that her 1,000 was maybe for 4 episodes a month. That was 1 a week or something. So, I mean,
don't worry about it, Sam. I'll get it done. I'll start doing regularly.
I don't want you to feel like that you must put in like 5 or 6 hours a week to get it done. I think we want to work out we want to work out an approach that's manageable and consistent. And so
that doesn't take. And I'm hoping to. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And I'm hoping to, like I told you, start automating more and more of it.
Cool.
As I do it more often. And I like your evil plan to pressure me by basically saying we have other options, Federico.
Well, yes. It's remember my bigger goal is not pressure on you other. My bigger goal is everybody happy, but also the outcomes. So yes. Right. Anyway, good show. So moving on, I think the last item on the agenda is just some updates to the site. So going back to the site, we do have Federico's new button is live there. We've got this like woo, woo. These are sound effect as well, clearly. I made some other changes. I made a change to the premium page here. So now it's basically asking a series of questions here about like what is it that you want? We're saying premium can help you with these things, and I've adjusted the text down here so that it's all in terms of these questions, like how the different benefits of premium help you with these things that you might care about. So we'll see if that leads to any significant changes. It's when did I make that change? I mean, it's early days. I also made a change to the getting started page. So we now have, this table is full width, it's larger text. I removed a lot of the text from the top of here. I slimmed out some of the other stuff there. So we do have this functionality, which Matt was asking about. Hopefully, everybody in principle should be able to have access to this Google Analytics thing. We can do comparison between things. So like it was on Monday that we made the main changes to this table. So in principle, we can look at here from the date range there from Monday, and we can pair that with the same period in the previous week. For example, that was from, if I go and click here, to Monday to the Wednesday. There we go. So this is comparing the, people coming into this page and so on between those two time periods. And so we can see here immediately, actually, since having made this change, actually the number of people clicking on website 1 has gone down. So that doesn't seem so good if we want to get people going and looking at the different pages. It's interesting that we don't get information about people clicking on these things, but we can see actually more people. Well, it was local support, Met Plus. There's a few more clicks. Was it Met Plus? Yeah, Met Plus Event Manager. We've had fewer clicks on website 1, but more clicks in some other areas. So, we basically need to leave these things running and keep analyzing and see what happens. I think the one that Matt had as an action item that he wanted me to highlight was looking at that kind of change on this page. And so I don't know, what was the change? Oh yeah, no, we made a change, and it was on, I think, May the 18th there. And if we compare with the previous period there. So we made a change on May the 18th as to what this button, clicked through to. We can see here, like, that there's been a big increase. Like, this is now over a 6-week time period. We can see that there's a big increase in the number of clicks here. If we could say, oh my goodness, that's all as a result of Federico's button. But Federico's button went live like on Monday, so we need a different analysis. But the key thing was actually on this page. So we made the change that clicking on that button would land on this page. And so we can sort of see here, if we look at from the time that we did that, basically we've doubled the number of people clicking through on the Get Started with Premium as a result of that change from 6 weeks ago. So that was the, and as it sort of justifies having people land here. What, as I was saying in my blog the other day, is frustrating is that we can't really see here, like we've got in here, it kind of looks like we got that most, it's not clear where the people are going. They're going here. We've got like a third of the people are clicking into further details. I mean, that's gone down, hopefully because people have already seen the further details. What we haven't got any idea of is whether people are clicking on these things. And I think that's something that Google Analytics doesn't seem to be able to pick up. Like this clicks, the PayPal clicks through to another site, the subscribe thing brings this up. What I'm hoping is that with the how we can help button there is that people who are on this page and are clicking and are thinking about it, they might actually start chatting to us about the options. So we'll see. And I'm saying like, oh, what's this $sign or what's this £sign? There we go. Anyway, so that's updates the site, analytics on the buttons there. My plan going forward is to be reviewing different parts of the site, making improvements like day on, like for another year, perhaps. Let's see how that goes.
Keep it up, Sam.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
Yeah, well, 2 days. There you go, 2 for 2. But yeah, my hope is to kind of effectively kind of launch an experiment on each page with a change, then and go leave it for a month, go around and be making changes in other places, and then come back to the place where one change was made and look at, month on month, did that actually give us much of a difference or an improvement? So, and try and sort of, like try and use the data. That I'm really impressed with this Google Analytics plugin. If you don't have that, get it. It's awesome. Thank you very much to Lara for suggesting that. And try and go on.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
I was just going to say, yeah, basically try and make our adjustments to the site be driven by and responsive to like the data about the people flowing through the site. Go on, Federico, what are you going to say?
I was just reminded of something you wrote in your blog today about I posted in the blog drafts.
Oh, yeah.
About could you talk about that a little more about the animated GIFs? Yeah,
so this is totally an idea from Free Code Camp, which I think, interestingly, they seem to have got rid of them now. I really like them. When you're in Free Code Camp and you're in, I have to sign in, like, is it this? Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting that they kind of go straight into the thing now. They certainly used to have a sequence of things where it was saying, let's learn about how we operate in Code Camp. There was like a getting started, which they, seem to have, that's funny. Maybe because I did them already and they're now not available. But they used to have a thing where like you would start up and it would just be showing you how to get into their Gitter chat environment. About form map. Yeah, like I guess this is 81, my settings. Yeah, okay, here we go. Learn how join. There you go. I think maybe just because I completed them. Okay, then thanks Marissa. Take care. We couldn't find that. It looks like they've actually removed those challenges.
Yeah, but they were really good at, like you said, explaining. They're just like maybe 10 seconds max, I think.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it was, that they've actually got rid of. But what they like the initial challenges were. I mean, it may be that they've got so busy with people that they don't want any more people joining their chat room or whatever it is. But yeah, what they had was effectively like a little animated GIF that would show you what to do. So we've got this example here in text where it says like, oh, what you should do coming into the chat room is say hi to this person, and then there'll be a response. And there's an argument to say that that's a big chunk of text that a lot of people won't read. You could have an animated GIF actually showing that process of typing to like make it just bone-shakingly clear, what the approach is. And
you said there's like a website or?
Yeah, well, if I just do this find and folder here, can I just say animated? There was a blog post that I wrote about about 6 months ago. Oh, here, animated GIFs. This is the one from in November last year. So let's go in here. Nonprofits, blog. What do I know? It's just 2016 on here. 2016 /11. And what was the name of the blog? This was Documentation Debt. November was what page? Next page. Documentation Debt. There it is. November 2nd last year. And I think here we go. Yeah. So this was an animated GIF that I created there, like to show like how you could create subfolders when you're editing in GitHub. And I wonder if but anyway, yeah, there you go. Make animated GIFs. So I was able at the time to, I think, follow the instructions here with some piece of OS X screencast to animated GIF. And basically, so it would, like, you can take a little screen recording from QuickTime and then turn it into a animated GIF. So it's exactly that stuff. I mean, it took a little bit of playing around to get the thing installed and so on. But so in principle, we could have somebody coming into Met Plus and saying, hi, Joao, and we get Joao to reply, and then just stick that animated GIF in here, or even have it, above here, getting started. It's like we'd say, this is what you're going to do. Here's the list of projects, and make that a single page, and then split the steps out from the getting started, so that step 1's on one page and step 2 is on the next page, and so on and so on.
So, if you need any help, I mean, I think we should get that done.
Yeah. Well, I'll respond to your. This is the link. Well, by prompting me, you've forced me to get that's this thing on how to do it. So. Yeah, anybody who wants to start making animated GIFs for any aspect of the process, yeah, I'm kind of my plan had been to kind of leave the getting started page for a while and review other elements, but yeah, let's get it done.
Okay, we have you on record saying that. So
yeah, there we go. So I'll put in here like animated GIFs and put it in there. Okay, so
just to keep in mind, we have like 5 minutes till the top of the hour. When did you start recording?
I had a couple. Sorry.
Oh, hey Matt. Hey Matt, how's it going?
Things to mention real quick, if I can. The agenda.
Yeah, I think we would be finished otherwise. So yeah, it's we've covered everything else. Yeah, Matt, good to have you with us. Yeah, what's up?
Oh, I just wanted to mention 2 things real quick. That when you're doing the analysis, remember that Lokesh is making improvements too. So just keep in mind to analyze that. We want to see if more people are clicking on through videos and
right.
And then the other thing I was going to mention is that that fast forward
right
site that we found, and it just confirmed that you created a profile for us, right? And
I sent the contact thing. I didn't follow up with the profile yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe that's a good to do.
Okay. Yeah. Did you hear what we were saying about the animated GIFs and stuff for getting started?
Yes, that sounds great.
Yeah, so this is that's the link there for like how to make your own little animated GIFs on OS X.
I'll look at adding because I know I'm kind of looking at that page too.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, anything else?
No, I guess that's it. And the other thing I was going to mention about that fast forward site is that if you're looking for interns, there's a whole jobs thing that I did a lot of searching for.
Oh, okay.
Jobs. And a good thing for an intern to do. I think this is great how Lokesh is responsible for, what do you call it? Like sustaining maintenance of the website.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great thing to get an intern totally involved, maybe with
yeah
purposes to improve the existing site.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that and we're doing really well with like Marufa and Blandine and Lokesh. I think we only word of caution there, and it's not. I'm very enthusiastic about interns. We've just got to be careful how many, because interns need a level of supervision.
Oh yeah,
we've got to be.
Has to leave.
Yeah, it's true that also. I mean, I think Lokesh and Blandine will both. Their internships will end at the end of the summer. So certainly we'll be looking to get more great interns like them.
Okay, that's
cool.
it.
Great. Okay, I think that's everything. Is it not? And does anybody else have any other concerns or other things?
I just wanted to mention that I sent you the direct message of the Facebook, the Sandbot Facebook message.
Great.
Whenever you get the chance. So.
Cool. All right. Nice one. Okay. Well, I'll maybe see some of you guys a bit later. Bye for now.
All right. Bye, everyone. Thanks, man.